Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing the Disciple of Deceit deck once again, and our opponent is blue Tron this time around. So let's get underway. We win the roll, so seems pretty good for us. This hand's fairly tasty. We've got a Tidehorse Sculler, a couple of Tidehorse Scullers, a couple of Lingering Souls, and an Inquisition. So curves out quite nicely, and going to be able to disrupt our opponent's hand quite a lot. Our opponent reveals Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Power Plant, so the full set, a couple of Condescends, and an Aboro Palace in the Clouds. Obviously going to take one of the Condescends, because we don't really have much choice, but opponent's hand doesn't look too exciting, which is definitely good from our point of view. Going to run out with the Sculler. I'm just going to use his Condescend to just for the double scry, which is definitely smart. It's better than just losing it outright. So it turns out he does have another card in his hand, I believe. Yes, he has a Spell Burst that he must have drawn off the top. Obviously not much good at this moment in time, but it's good to for our Tidehorse Scholar to pick that up now. So we're going to tap for 2 here. Kind of doubt our opponent's draw anything particularly interesting, so I think we're better off just getting the Lingering Souls going and getting the beat downs. And placing the Power Plant. Attack for 4. Sunfire Ice is quite nice, but I think I'd rather just make some more tokens. As I say, continue the beat downs. Opponent has first. Discard the Mindslaver. And fabricates into an expedition map, which he runs straight out, so he's going to be able to assemble Tron very shortly. Definitely makes me want to look at his hand now, so I think we're probably going to be running out this Scholar, but first we're going to attack in for 6. Opponent down to 8. And yeah, I think we're going to run out the Scholar here just to see what's going on. So what's he got in hand? Cyclonic Rift and the Thirst for Knowledge. If he uses the expedition map, can he overload? Let's see. Attack 2 and then I don't think he can actually overload if he no, but I take the Rift anyway. It seems as though we actually got lethal on board, and if he doesn't bounce anything, then that seems good. Obviously draw cards with Thirst is not the best, but he's tapped out now. He's dead on board next turn, so seems good from our point of view. Even if he does get the Tron online, I don't think he's going to be able to do too much. So yeah, he thirsts. He's only got 3 mana. Shot the Dismember. I don't think he lives next turn, and yeah, opponent concedes. So that went pretty well. We were able to disrupt our opponent early on, and then pile on the pressure. And he just wasn't able to go much further. So that went pretty well. Let's go on to game 2. So we've got Smallpox, Inquisition, Gravecrawler, and Snapcaster. I think Smallpox might be quite good against Tron, as we were able to get rid of his Tron lands. Lead off with Gravecrawler. That's the turn. Opponent's going to play Talisman off the second Tron land. I don't really want to risk him having Tron next turn, so I'm going to attack with my Gravecrawler and then Inquisition. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Gravecrawler, given that I was planning on Smallpoxing, but we've got the Tidehorse Scholar in hand, so it's not the worst. And we've got 2 points of damage in, so I don't feel too bad about the decision. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything that we particularly want to discard, but I think we're going to get rid of one of these Inquisitions, discarding it to the Smallpox. Going to Condescend for 0 again, just for the scry, which is fine by me. And we get rid of his Urza's Mine. And fabricates into an expedition map, which we can steal with our Scholar, or with Inquisition of Kozilek. Going to go with the Scholar. He's got Aether Eyes, Mindslaver, and the map. I think I'm just going to take the map. Aether Eyes is something we need to be aware of. Obviously it can bounce our tokens and get rid of them for good, so definitely need to be aware of that, but I think we're just going to take the map here. Could have taken Slaver as well, I suppose, just so he has fewer things that he can do with the mana, but I feel reasonably happy with that decision. Although actually with only one Tron piece, maybe we should just left the map, given that he's still going to have to find another Tron land. So yeah, maybe I should have taken the Other Eyes or the Slaver. I feel like he's a long way off Slaver, so doesn't seem too bad. Treasure Mages, getting a Worm Coil, which is fine. Inquisition, not doing a whole lot for us here. Obviously need another land to get our Lingering Souls going, but Gravecaller, not too bad a draw. 2 here, I don't want to get Aetherized, so just going to attack with the Gravecrawler and not the Tide Hollow Scholar. Just going to continue attacking. Play Lingering Souls here to get our tokens. Attacks again with the Treasure Mage, not too bothered about this to be honest, it's not too concerning. Going to support Seize after getting that off the top. Going to repeal our Scholar in response, which isn't too devastating because we can always recast it. You can see his hand, so yeah, we basically know his hand, having this one card which turns out to be a land. So he's got Mindslaver, Worm Coil, Aether Eyes, and an Expedition map. I think we're just going to take the map or the Aether Eyes. Actually, the map doesn't really matter, does it? At this point in time, he's got 6 lands, 6 mana with the cards, so I'm not bothered about the map really. So I'm going to take the Worm Coil, since that's the most difficult to deal with. I don't think Mindslaver does too much to us. It's not ideal obviously, but unless he's recurring it somehow, I don't think that's too bad. Worm Coil on the other hand could be pretty bad for us. The life gain obviously not great, and because only on 10 life, a few swings with Worm Coil will finish this off. So decided to take the Worm Coil here I think, and then I'm going to take the Aether Eyes with the Tide Hollow Scholar. I think that was how this played out. Obviously the Aether Eyes potentially threatening to my tokens. Mindslaver is always a little bit scary, but I don't think it does a great deal against our current hand. Maybe buys him a turn or such, and he doesn't have enough mana to play it and activate it, so not too scared really. I'm going to map up a power plant, which is fine. Inquisition, seeing that he has land, Mindslaver, which is fine. Obviously be a bit worried if he had another Tron land and maybe something big, but this all seems very fine. Going to attack in here, we're putting down to 6, and then some Lingering Souls tokens. So we've got lethal on board, and yeah, our opponent concedes. Obviously didn't draw anything interesting. Mindslaver wasn't going to save him, and yeah, wrapped that up pretty nicely. So yeah, that went really well. Our hand disruption worked really nicely. Don't really have a lot of ways to deal with non-basics in this deck, but I think as long as you can be quick and disrupt them, Smallpox seems potentially very good. So yeah, decent matchup, and worked out fairly well for us.